Storytellers Secret by Carmine Gallo. Awesome book, a book that you must read. In this short review, I will talk about 3 things that I loved about this book. So let's get right to it. The first thing that I loved about this book, the first takeaway that I think is essential for anyone to read it, is the fact that you should embrace wherever you come from. Whatever story you have to tell. Now, so many people have had so many bad things happen to them in this world and have overcome it. Taking, for example, one of my favorite stories in this book, and there are 55 individual stories in this book of entrepreneurs and activists. The one that I loved the most was about Malala. And if you don't know Malala, I will put a link in the description below about her. So a little bit about the book here. Each chapter is split into 3 separate parts. The first part tells a little bit about the storyteller that specific chapter is talking about. Then the second part goes into the storyteller's tools and gives you like a specific takeaway you can use in whatever presentations or business opportunities you have coming up, or even just conversations. And then the third part is the Storyteller's Secret, which is actually basically just a quick summary, even just a short paragraph of that whole chapter, which makes it very convenient to go back like months later or a year later to just skim through the book. Look at those little parts at the end of each chapter that just say the Storyteller's Secret, and you can take away what you want to take away from that chapter. Another fantastic thing about the Storyteller's Secret is the fact that we are all made of stories. Humanity is made of stories. Everything that happened a second ago is part of a story, a part of your life's story. So everything in our life we can use, put it into a story, and connect emotionally with other people around us, whether we're giving a presentation or teaching a class or pitching our business to investors. Stories are basically who we are, and that's why I found this book to be quite amazing. Like, just reading about these stories about all these 55 different people, it seems like a lot in like 200 and some odd pages, but it just goes by so quickly, and there's so many takeaways. It's a bit repetitive, but at the same time, each story is unique because it is about a different individual. Each individual cannot be the same. Even if the same thing happens to them, it happens to them in a slightly different way. So that's why I think, it's an essential book, because we all need to learn how to use stories in our life. When we're giving a presentation, we don't want to fill it full of statistics and facts. We want to use stories to intertwine, to include the facts and statistics into the stories to make the stats and facts interesting. And I think one of the last takeaways that I can give you today in this quick review is the fact to simplify your language whenever you're speaking to someone. Simplifying your language does not make you sound dumb. It actually helps your listener, because we only remember about 10% of what we hear. So if you simplify your language whenever you're talking with someone or giving a presentation, it will give your listener a better chance of remembering what you have to say. There are fantastic entrepreneurs that have used this tool to their advantage, as well as presidents and prime ministers. Okay, so taking for example the three that are mentioned in this book. One is Steve Jobs. He was the master at simplification. When he introduced the iPhone, he just said it so simply and clearly, like as if it were to fit into a Twitter tweet. So basically, you could take that rule of making whatever headline into a tweetable tweet, right? Steve Jobs was fantastic at that. Okay, and then the second one was Elon Musk. Now, he talks about rockets and he talks about electric cars, which the average person would probably not be able to understand. But the way that he presents it is so simplified that anyone can pretty much understand what he's talking about. So simplicity is a key. And the last person is Winston Churchill. During World War II, he made his nation, Britain, fight against the Germans when they were afraid to. And he did it through an empowering speech which used simple language. Language that a fourth grader or a sixth grader could understand. So that is the power of simplicity. There are so many more takeaways in this book. I cannot mention them all in this video, but I do recommend buying this book, and I will include an Amazon link below in the description. Go down there, pick it up today. I guarantee you will not regret reading this whole book, and it will not take you a long time. Use all these tips in everyday conversations that you have. So the Storyteller's Secret is definitely going on my list of essential books that people need to read. And I'm going to go back to this book every time I have some sort of big presentation coming up or big deal. Go through the little Storyteller's Secrets to refresh my memory about how powerful stories are, how stories can connect with others on an emotional level, and that is the key point of telling a story, is to help someone connect with you. It is also a persuasion tool that you can use to help people agree with you better. I do appreciate you guys watching this video, and I really do hope that you pick this book up. Don't forget to subscribe in the subscription button below, and check out the full review for this book on my website. I will include that link below as well. Guys, it's awesome talking with you today, and I will see you next video. Thank you so much.